What's up, friends, amigos, compadres, family, however you want to describe yourself? Welcome to another one of my book reviews. Today I am reviewing Sam Walton's Made in America. This is the story of Walmart. So, let's get started with how this book is written, or the style of his writing. So, as per usual, in most books, a biography setting, or autobiography, I guess, he starts with how he was brought up as a child, and then goes through starting business chronologically, as you would expect. What's interesting about this book, though, is not only does he take his own account, so you're not only hearing directly from Mr. Walton, but he includes interviews from past employees, from family members, from co-workers, so you really get a range of opinions, of course all controlled by what Mr. Walton wanted to put in the book, but it's still nice to see different viewpoints, and he does include opinions that he didn't agree with, or people didn't like what he did. So I think there's a manager that didn't agree with how Sam started advertising one of his Walmarts. He had a whole bunch of donkeys in the parking lot with manure everywhere, and it was causing a smell, and people were tracking that into the store, and it was just no bueno. This was early Walmart. So it's good to see he allows in varying opinions. Now, some golden nuggets, some key things I think readers can take away from this book is a couple of Sam Walton's attributes. So, one of the characteristics that made Mr. Walton so successful is his ability and desire to alter the process. He worked for this one company called Ben Franklin, I think is the name of it, and they had a formula, how you're supposed to do things, how you're supposed to reach distribution, what you're supposed to pay percentage-wise, and what profits, things like that. So very regimented. But Sam didn't like that. He took every chance he could to get some wiggle room going and to really change that. And he really did that with Walmart as well, is he tried different techniques. He would really commend his managers for going above and beyond what would normally be expected. So for instance, one of his managers bought hundreds of this type of lawnmower, I believe, and he just lined them all out outside. He listed them. He got him a wholesale price. He got a great deal. That was always a big thing for Mr. Walton, was the deal that you get on distribution. But like I was saying, the manager lined all these lawnmowers outside, and he's priced them all enough so he can get a profit, but low enough so that people would be willing to buy them. And he sold them all like crazy. And Sam's like, you know what? That was an amazing risk that you took, but I really admire the way you challenge the process. So I think if you're a business person, this is a great book for inspiration to really get your creative juices flowing. Another thing that Sam Walton did that I think really made him successful is he studied his competitors. And not just, Kmart's doing this wrong, Target's doing this wrong, whatever store. He focused on what they're doing right. So there are many stories of Sam going into a local Kmart or another discount store and lying on the ground and measuring the aisles. This is how passionate this man was, is he looked at the minute details that customers would notice. He would go in, he'd be like, "Hi, I'm Sam Walton. Can I speak to your manager?" And he would talk to a manager of a Kmart store for hours, ask about, how much do you spend on distribution and shipping, and how much, profit, what's your margins? He would dissect an opposing business to understand, to see if there's anything he could improve upon. He went to this conference, and it was very financially focused. For the life of me, I can't remember the organization off the top of my head, but he goes to the head guy. He's, at this time, I think it was the 60s and 70s, so computers weren't that big yet. No one had a personal computer, Mac, Apple, whatever you're working with. Mac, same thing. PC or Apple, you get what I'm saying. And he went, "Hey, here's all my ledgers, here's all my financial books, how can I improve this?" And Sam had studied so many competitors at that point that the financial genius, or not, the guy with the highest financial capability at that conference was like, "Listen, don't change a thing. You are doing great." So Sam was always willing to learn. And I think that is something very important and a skill that anyone can benefit from, whether you do business or not. So let's cut to the chase. If you are a business person interested in business, if you are interested in retail, you will love this book because he gets into the nitty gritty of like profit percentages and how much he spent and how he went around contacting distribution centers and investors and, you know, making his company go public, things like that. You're gonna love that if you're interested in business and retail. Personally, I had to skim over some of the parts just because I'm like, I can't read this many percentages and I really don't care how much he sold laundry detergent for. You may call me ignorant, do what you want, but I'd rather, you know, get a couple of the key nuggets from Sam and then move on to another author. So I think anyone interested in business, switching things up, challenging the process, and learning how to learn from others, which if you're reading, you're probably doing that anyway, but I think anyone with those goals and mentalities will benefit from reading this book. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot a message my way. And keep reading, keep focusing, keep learning, and I wish you all the best of luck with your future endeavors. Peace.